how to become indispensable so you can negotiate for a raise or promotion. This is also in the digital workbook, so you can follow along. But take a look at this diagram and start to familiarize yourself with it. What I'm talking about when I'm saying becoming indispensable, it means that we literally can't do without you. You are so essential to a company, to your boss, that you couldn't be let go of. It would be very negative if you were to leave or be gone. That is a very important state to achieve. And how you do it is by having a positive impact on your company's performance and having it be visible. So if you're in the top right, you need to do both. You need to have an impact on your company and it needs to be known. If you're having a positive impact on your company, meaning you're making them more money, you're saving them money, customers are happy, but no one knows, you're valuable, but you're invisible. And that's not necessarily going to give you the leverage you need to make more money. So let's dive into these two dimensions, impact and visibility. You could think of impact as synonymous with value, but I like to use impact because it's a little bit more clear of a description of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making an impact on your company's performance. You might be incredibly valuable to your employer, but if you're not able to demonstrate the impact through specific numbers or a story or a narrative, then it's not going to be as easy to prove your value. Impact proves value. So this is quantifiable, meaning numbers of the impact your actions or non-actions have on your company, your customers, or your boss and team. And those are three different constituents to think about when you're trying to quantify or put numbers behind what you do that has a positive impact. You could have a positive impact on your company, your customers, or your boss. And yes, I have seen people that don't necessarily make a big impact on their company. They don't make a big impact on their customers, but they make their boss's life easier. They get what their boss needs done. So that's one side of the equation, impact. The other side is visibility. So when people ask what you do, you need to have a clear and concise answer. You cannot be known for being good at 5 things. You can really only be known for being good at 1 or maybe 2 things. I am an income coach. Morgan is a money coach. We don't say that we're money coaches, one-on-one. I'm a course creator. I'm this, I'm that. Like there's so many ways you could describe what I do and the impact I have, but you've got to be able to keep it concise and down to the point. This could be something like a title, but oftentimes titles are misleading. It doesn't really describe or paint a picture of what you actually do. I help women make more money. That's what I do. That's what I want you to know I do for people. I want you to know that for your own benefit and people that you meet, that there's a guy out there who helps women make more money. If you know that, you might send them to me and I'll help them. And you might even know exactly what I do. I sit on Zoom all day. That's what I actually do. But the impact of what I do, the visibility I want you to have of who I am is that I help you make more money. The same with Morgan, eliminating debt, building net worth, building savings. Those are all tangible things that we want to be clear that we demonstrate. So you want to develop a reputation for being good at 1 or 2 things, not 5. The last point here is that you are the average of your 5 closest connections. If you want to be them, befriend them. And oftentimes this can be a hang up for people who are working on their careers. They don't want to be friends with their boss. They don't want to network with the CEO. They want to just do their job and go home. Well, unfortunately, we're dealing again with these stinking human beings, and we can't seem to get rid of the ones we don't like. And that will mean that there are ones that you'll have to really work closely with if you're looking for an opportunity within a company. I was very well networked with the chief marketing officer, my boss's boss, and I benefited from that. I got access to information, projects, ideas that if I hadn't have had that information, I don't know if I would have been as valuable to my company. So it's something to keep in mind is that unfortunately, life has still turned out to be somewhat of a popularity contest. Best would be I delivered over $100 million in sales, marketing, and product revenue. And that's what I did over the course of about 5 years in my career when I shifted into product and marketing was I delivered $100 million in sales, marketing, and product revenue. So that's a way to start to articulate good, better, and best. and you'll see kind of an example in here. Oh, there's one last one here for Morgan. Morgan's clients have generated over $2 million in savings and debt repayment. That's a simple narrative that communicates an impact. If it's a large number, and there's specific metrics that people are interested in, building their savings and eliminating debt, you could probably bet that Morgan knows something about those two things. So let's try it yourself. Here's a kind of Mad Lib, ad lib way of doing this. In the last time period, I verb, number, in, of, by, noun. I know it sounds like a gobbledygook sentence, but it's a way of starting to write these things out. You could actually write this sentence out. In the last period of time, here's an example. In the last 6 months, I led a 5-person team that accomplished, and fill in the blank. You could write out what you accomplished. That's a way of actually creating a value statement, creating an impact statement that you can put on a resume or communicate in an interview. In the last quarter, my team improved customer satisfaction by 20%. There are customer satisfaction surveys. That's an example of what you might see in a resume or mention in an interview. In the last 5 years, I sold $300 million in services. That would be a time period, a verb, an actual number or metric, and what the actual noun is, what you're actually talking about. Becoming indispensable is essential to having leverage in your negotiations. If I work with a client and we can't get to a place where it's very clear what the impact is and there's a strategy for making it visible, I know that it's unlikely that person is going to get the raise or the promotion. No matter how much they think they deserve it, they want it, their bosses even told them they're going to get it. If you can't articulate and communicate your impact to your organization in these 3 constituents, it's going to become less and less likely that you get the raise or the promotion.